Hey guys, I'm Tyrone and welcome back to Harrison Family Farm. It's one of the few dry days we've had here in Kansas City recently, and so I've been taking advantage, and I've actually, ta-da, gotten our garden bed, tilled up. And so much like I told you guys, I just rented a tiller from Home Depot. I was able to get it tilled up. I actually went over it about 3 different times, and the last time I made some rows. Hopefully you guys can see those coming through on camera. I think I'm getting you a good shot. But yeah, guys, and so now I'm just gonna take a moment and actually get my plants transplanted in here. I think we're gonna get some rain the rest of this week up into the weekend. And so I figured now is probably a good time. That way the soil will be good and wet for them. And I'm of course gonna water them down after I get them transplanted. But yeah, this is our garden bed. Looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of our plants transplanted. I haven't showed you guys, but I actually have some spinach, some lettuce, and some peppers growing in our kitchen window right there in some old jars that I had. And so I started those out as seeds. They've actually mostly sprouted, minus the pepper and what else? I don't know. Maybe it's just the pepper that hasn't sprouted, but those are our plants that we got from the store. I actually picked up a few more since then. When I was at Feldman's one day, I picked up a few more. And so what's this here? That's a cantaloupe there. This here is a red bell pepper. And then here in the back, what's we got? I think this is a watermelon. Yeah, this is a watermelon back there. So, about to get all of our goodies into the ground. I'm not gonna record that, I'll just show you guys the after. And so, yeah, I'll check in with you guys then. Our peanuts haven't sprouted yet. I'm seeing some grass in here I need to get out, but the peanuts themselves, well, maybe this might be some right here. Let me not speak too soon, but I do see some undesired things growing, and so I want to go ahead and get those out of there. I told y'all this year I'm trying to keep a clean garden. Let me not throw that in my garden though. I'm trying to keep a clean, definitely a cleaner garden, much cleaner garden than last year, and it starts here. So I'll check back in with you guys once I get everything in this new home. All right, guys, so I just finished up getting all our plants in. And let me zoom out first to give you the full view. I don't know how well it comes through on camera. Give you a side view. And so essentially what I kind of did is my fruits are up front. So I have strawberries starting here. I got 4 strawberry plants there, and I got my little tag so I can remember what they are. After that, it's followed by tomatoes, which are here. There's my tomatoes, there's the strawberries. And then I continued on, and so right there, see cantaloupe, there's my cantaloupe. And then I want to say this is these here are watermelon. That one, and that one. And then we got more cantaloupe right here. That one there, another cantaloupe. And after that I transitioned into peppers. And so you see right there, they come here, and then I got quite a few, well, I don't want to say quite a few, but I got a few peppers. They tend to get used, so I don't mind planting them. Some more peppers back here. And then after that, I switch over into my mustard greens. And so I got a few of those. And on my back row, I got Brussels sprouts. If you guys remember, I told you these were actually picked up in air, but that's all right. We're gonna roll with them anyway since we got them. And so we'll see what we come up with. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you that I finished up, got everything set and in place. And so I'm in pretty good shape. I'm now gonna get my water hose, try to water everything down and give everything a chance to kind of get roots and everything like that. Like I said, I am anticipating rain here naturally within the coming days, so that'll be helpful. But that's it for me right now, guys. I'll check in with you later. Hey guys, so I'm checking back in, and full transparency, it's actually been a few weeks now since the clip before this, and I'm out here at the garden, and I'll show you guys the plants real quick, just so you guys can kind of see where they're at now, how they have grown, and what we're working with. Today I went to Lowe's and picked up some mulch, and so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I mentioned to you guys earlier in the video, my goal is try to keep this garden a lot cleaner than the one I had last year, and trying to stay out to a good start. Like I said, TJ and I were out here yesterday or last evening picking up some of the grass because it's already trying to take over. You can even see in this planter here that I have trying to grow my peanuts in, the grass is already taking it over. And yeah, I don't know that my peanuts even got a chance, so I got to clean that out too. But yeah, this is my mulch. Hopefully I got enough. I just went with some red mulch. Not the best pickings, and maybe I just picked from the wrong spot because they had some outside and then inside there, like, what do you call it, lawn and garden center. And I picked it off the shelf, and maybe I shouldn't have, because a lot of the bags are torn, but every bag there was torn, and I didn't see the other until I was leaving. So it is what it is. I know better for next time. But yeah, guys, I think before I put the mulch in though, I got a few plants. Like, I actually just came from Feldman's just now, and I actually picked up this tomato plant. I got a spot over there on the other side of that, those two tomato plants, and I figured with the hay, why not? And also, I don't know that I showed you guys, I forget where I got I got these two from Lowe's. Last weekend I went to Lowe's and they had some plants, and so I got some sweet potatoes in there right here. And I told you guys about the plants that I got in the window. I'll give you a better look, but you can see them from here. Maybe, yeah, you can kind of see them. So they've been doing really well too. But I got to go inside anyway to grab a few things before I get started with this. But I said that to say, the tomato plant and the sweet potatoes for sure, I want to go ahead and get them in the ground before I put this mulch down. That way I don't have to bother with moving it to get the plants in. I almost kind of want to put those other plants in too, but excuse me, I'm a little bit hesitant to do it. I think they could do well to stay in those starter containers a little bit longer. Maybe I'm tripping. You guys let me know if you know better, but I will tell you one thing. I should have tilled out some more land. I'm already out of space, like beyond what I have for that tomato over there, and that's just because I knew I was going to do that. I really don't have a lot of space, and so I think I'm gonna extend it this way. I'm gonna get my pitch axe or whatever and probably break this up. I shouldn't have to go too far, just given that I don't have that many more plants I want to add. But I think that's going to be the easiest and most efficient way for me to go about extending the garden bed. I thought about going back, getting closer to my fence here, but I don't think so. I think coming this way is just going to be most ideal, because really, especially if my peanuts ever take off, I'm definitely going to need some more room. So maybe overall, maybe I will have to get that tiller again, because I think I planted a good 18 seeds but that was just because I just didn't know how well they would do, and so far I'm not seeing anything that really looks like a peanut plant to me, and there it just looks like a bunch of grass. So we shall see. But yeah, I just don't want to get ahead of myself. But I do want to go ahead and get the mulch down now, because the grass is already growing. You can see it, and like I said, we literally were just out here last night. digging it up. And a lot of grass you do see is just turned over grass, meaning I've already cut the roots and it's just on top of the soil from when we were digging it up. But I want to try to suppress it by getting the mulch down, and that way block the sunlight. That way it won't grow. So that's my game plan. And yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Like I said, I'm gonna get the tomato on the ground, get the sweet potatoes in the ground, and I think I am gonna wait on the other one. I'm gonna just give them a little bit more time, maybe a week or two more, and then I'll go ahead and bring them out. But like I said, it's only been, if that was 3 weeks, was that? It's only been about 4 weeks since I planted them. So yeah, they can wait. All right, guys, here's a closer look of our seedlings. And so I don't know if that comes through, but that is lettuce on the far left. We got another lettuce right here. You can see there's a couple different sproutings. That was almost like 6, I think, or 5. And then same here. And then we got what's supposed to be spinach here, but it's a dud so far. And then we have some peppers right here. And they're doing really well. And then this is another spinach. And so this one's actually doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that one, but it is what it is. And so, like I said, guys, I think they can wait a little bit longer before they get transplanted into our garden. I wrote that on there on purpose so I'll be able to tell, but 4:30 is when I sowed these seeds. So we'll give it a little bit more time and be mindful of making room for them in the meantime so that we're ready when that time does come. But I just wanted to give you guys a look of those inside. I know I showed you through the window, but there you go. Okay, guys, we got our last 3 plants in place. Like I said, I just put that tomato plant with the other 2. And there's that one. And then the sweet potato plants I put back here. I know they need room because there are vines, or they grow as vines. There's 1 and there's 2. But I'm just going to have to work it out some way or another, because that's the only place I had without digging out further. And I think I want to reserve that for when I bring my other plants out. So other than that, we're good to go for mulch. And I'm gonna get to it, but now I don't know, I gotta see if it makes sense. But now you see next to my tomato plant, I still got enough room for probably 1 more. Yeah, I don't know. I know last year I had way too many tomatoes, but with that, they were a lot of like the small berry style tomatoes. So these are going to be more of the full standard size tomatoes you find. I mean, you find all of them in the store, but more of your standard size tomatoes. And so I don't think they're going to produce as many. So it might be okay to have 1 more plant. That's essentially what I'm getting to. We'll see. We'll give it some time, maybe a day or 2, think it over, and see what we come up with. But anyway, on to mulch. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start in this back corner. It seems like a good enough starting place to me. And my goal is to get about 3 to 4 inches of the mulch down in and around the plant area, and that is to block out that sunlight. Roughly the area I have here is about 9 by 15. That's a rough estimate. I don't know that to be factual. And I got about 10 bags here, and so I'm gonna make that work as best I can. I might need a few more, but I think that is enough to at least get me started, at least give me the first few inches of a layer down, and then if I need more, I'll go back and get more from there. As you guys can see, I'm starting off doing this by hand, but truth be told, and thinking back, I probably didn't need to be quite that delicate. Not bad that I did. Of course, I was able to protect the plants and just be gentle and putting the mulch down near them. But I really could have went a lot faster. Said a lot of times if I just poured the bag out maybe in an area that didn't have plants and just mush it and kind of move it around as I needed it. So just something I wanted to add and put in there. All right, guys, so that's about as good as it's going to get for right now. Doesn't look too bad, though, honestly, in my opinion. Like I said, this area over here is a little thin, but as you know, I don't have a plant right there, so I might leave that open until I get my plant in the ground. Until I buy one and then get it in the ground. Like I said, I think that'll be another tomato. I'm not sure. We'll see. But, yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. I like the red background. I like it more than I think I knew I was going to like it, actually. See it in person. And so I'll give you guys this other side view. So yeah, guys, I got it all installed. Didn't take long at all, to be honest with you. I am sweating a bit, so I did get a little bit of a workout in. But cool little project. Like I said, I'm gonna add some more to it. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get my loads, weather permitting. We'll see what's going on. But take me a quick break, guys. I'll be checking with you guys a bit later. Yeah, it's actually several days later. It's just been really rainy here, and so I haven't had an opportunity to put any more mulch down. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video that I got my mulch down, but it's kind of thin in some places, and so I want to kind of thicken it up. In certain areas, I've noticed I'm down to even maybe like half an inch or so, and so yeah, I just want to thicken that up a bit. Try to get it closer to maybe 3 inches is what I would really like to have. We'll see. But yeah, I want to just get a few more bags, thicken things up a bit. But our plants look to be doing really well. I'm noticing in particular this watermelon plant is seems a lot larger today than it has in the past. And even over here, those are really taking off. Really starting to get big on me. And even our Brussels sprouts too. They're really looking good, so yeah. Oh, looky there, we got some peppers sprouting. Yeah. Okay, this is another pepper plant here, but it doesn't have any actual peppers. Got some buds where they're gonna be, but none completely formed yet. Oh, I see a tomato. A tomato right there. So yeah, the plants have been doing good. This rain has been helping out. And then I was actually talking to my uncle about my gardening. His gardening in general, he keeps a garden going every year, and and I let him know that I put some mulch down. He was telling me that it will help retain water, and so that's one thing that's been cool to know or to find out, because I didn't know that previously, that will serve a purpose in a different way as well. So that's pretty cool. And I actually just thought of that because when I look at the edge, if I look at the ground here, you can see it's dried out. But if I look at the edge of where the mulch is, you can see it's still damp or darker because it's damp. I don't know if that comes through clearly, but right there. And that's true all the way around. You can really see it right here. At least I can in person. But yeah, he said that, and I come back and actually see that to be true. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that should serve in a positive way for our plants. But I'm about to get off of here, guys. Run and go get this mulch. That way we can get it spread out, and I can put this baby to bed, so to speak. I'll check back in when I get back. A few hours later, I went to Lowe's and ran into a bit of trouble. I got there, got in the parking lot, got parked or whatever, and I went to turn off my van to go inside. And when I tell you, the key turned very freely, no resistance, but the van kept running. And so that kind of threw me off for a minute. Thought I knew what the problem was. Bought a part, ended up being the wrong part, and so I ended up watching a YouTube video, go figure, right, and just made up a workaround. So that took me a couple hours in total to kind of troubleshoot and all that jazz. But anyway, I managed to finally make it back to Lowe's, got the mulch. Sorry, mosquitoes is terrible today. Angela just told me she got a notification saying they were going to be bad this week, and yeah, they called that one right. Anyway, got the mulch. It's actually over here. And so I just need to bring it over here to the garden and kind of get it spread out. And that's essentially what I'm about to do now. Like I told you guys, I ended up getting 6 bags. One thing I did quickly notice at the register is that they're no longer on sale. When I bought it before the first time, they were like $2 a bag. And so now I guess they're back to regular price, which is like right under $4. So a little bit of a sticker shock compared to what I was thinking when I first got them. But I mean, it was like 20 some odd bucks. So yeah. This is it. All of it doesn't look great. I'm seeing stuff like that in some areas, but we're gonna make it do what it do regardless. We might not put some of that mildewy stuff in the garden, but anyway, I'm gonna get it over here close to the garden bed. That way we can go ahead and get it poured in, spread out, make it look pretty and all that jazz, and see if we got something worth calling our own. So I'll check back in once I get it spread out. Alright guys, I think that's going to pretty much do it. I believe I worked on my high point, so I got it fairly level. It's not completely level, but I'll work with it, work at it as I'm out here in the garden messing around. If you guys recall, I told you at the beginning of this garden season, my goal was to keep this garden bed a lot cleaner than what I had last year. If you guys remember, it was pretty awful, just being transparent. So using this mulch is how I plan to keep the weeds and the unwanted grass out of the garden bed. One thing I will say though, and one thing that's been in the back of my mind since deciding to use this as a way to keep the weeds and the grass out is, what about next year? You know, is the mulch going to present an issue for me for next year as far as gardening? I'm not sure. If you guys have used mulch before, please leave me a comment down in the comments down below. Let me know what you did, or you know, if it was not even an issue for you at all. So I know it's a little late for me to be thinking about it. I should have thought that plan full circle before doing it, but it is what it is, and we're here now. But I'm really, so far, pleased with the results. You know, like I told you guys earlier, saw a few little sproutings of some plants and weeds, but not a whole lot, and definitely not what I was seeing last year, or even what I was seeing this year before I actually dug into the garden. So I'm pleased thus far. I think it looks pretty good, fairly inexpensive. So yeah, I like it. So you guys leave me a comment down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to share. Hit that notification bell and subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. And until next time, peace.